Have you ever wondered, what if your own body is the greatest gym in the world? No machines. No heavy weights. No expensive memberships, just breath, awareness, and a little patience. Inside you lies a perfectly designed system, muscles waiting to awaken, joints craving movement, and a current of life energy ready to surge the moment you reconnect with it. Yet most of us live like strangers in our own bodies, tired, stiff, and disconnected from the natural power to heal that creation has already given us. Welcome to Everyday Vital Path, where we rediscover the incredible strength that already lives within you. If you believe that age doesn't define vitality, hit subscribe and walk with me, one small step each day toward reclaiming your original energy. And now, I want to ask you. A. You believe health comes from the gym. B. You believe health comes from your own body. Drop your answer A or B in the comments. I'd love to know where you are on your journey of awakening true health. Number 1. The power begins in your legs. You know, at age 50 or 60, what scares most people isn't wrinkles or gray hair, it's losing balance. I once had a patient, Mrs. Susan, 68 years old, who told me she no longer dared to climb stairs. Not because her legs were weak, but because she was afraid of falling. And that fear made her stop moving, which in turn made her body grow weaker and weaker. But here's the fascinating part, when we retrain our sense of balance, not only do our legs become stronger, but our brain, heart, and nervous system wake up as well. In medicine, we call this proprioception, the body's ability to sense its position in space. When your stance is stable, your mind becomes stable too. I want you to imagine this, just 2 minutes a day. Lowering your center of gravity, taking a deep breath, feeling your feet connect to the ground, and your body begins to remember what safety, steadiness, and self-control feel like, feelings you may have lost long ago. To keep your balance is to keep your longevity. Because one fall at age 70 can take years to recover from, but standing strong every day, even for just a few minutes, can add years of strength and vitality to your life. So, how long has it been since you truly stood still, and felt your body again? Number 2. Revitalize pelvic health and inner energy. You know, there's something most people over 50 rarely talk about. It's when the body starts to weaken at its center, the area that holds not just our balance, but also our confidence, vitality, and true sense of aliveness. I once had a patient named George, 62 years old. He didn't come to me for back pain or knee problems. He said, "I just feel like I'm slowly fading. No energy, no drive, no spark to start the day." We didn't use medication. Instead, we began with one simple exercise, the horse stance. The result was remarkable. After just a few weeks, George told me he felt the difference. His hips were more flexible, his sleep deeper, and most importantly, he felt alive again. Because this practice increases blood flow to the pelvic area, awakening small, often ignored muscles around the hips and lower abdomen, the very core of vitality. You see, life energy never truly disappears. It simply falls asleep when we stop paying attention to our bodies. Spend just a few minutes each day reawakening that central zone, and you'll realize, age doesn't steal your vitality, neglect does. Number 3. Build full body strength without stressing your joints. I've met many patients who tell me, "Doctor, I really want to exercise, but my knees are weak, every time I walk too much, they start to hurt." And I get it. After age 50, our joints lose some of their elasticity, but that doesn't mean you have to stop moving. I often share with them a special exercise so simple that many don't believe it works, the horse stance. All you do is lower yourself as if sitting on an invisible chair, keep your back straight, relax your shoulders, and hold. No running, no weights. No shock to the joints. But the magic is this, when you stand like that, your entire body activates at once: thighs, hips, glutes, back, and core. One of my patients, Mr. David, 67, used to limp because of chronic knee pain. We started with just 30 seconds a day. 3 weeks later, he called me and said, "Doctor, for the first time in years, I stood up from a chair without using my hands." You see, real strength doesn't come from forcing your body, it comes from understanding it. When you train the right way, you're not hurting it, you're helping it remember what age once tried to take away: stability and freedom in every step. No running. No weights. Just proper posture. The horse stance engages your thighs, hamstrings, glutes, calves, and lower back muscles, building power without damaging cartilage. It's known as the all-ages safe exercise, widely used in rehabilitation centers across the United States. Number 4. Balance your hormones, reduce internal stress. You know, sometimes we think fatigue comes from aging. But in truth, most of it comes from something deeper, when our hormones are no longer in harmony. I once had a patient named Mary, 63 years old. She told me she couldn't sleep well, snapped at people for no reason, and often felt like life was slipping through her fingers. When I looked into her medical history, I saw something all too familiar: years of accumulated stress. I want you to imagine this: every time you worry, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. When it stays elevated for too long, it disrupts your body's natural rhythm. Sleep becomes restless, memory fades, your body weakens, and even your joy for life slowly disappears. But there's a gentle way to restore that inner balance, through stillness exercises like the horse stance. When you hold this posture, your breathing slows, circulation improves, and your body begins to release more endorphins and natural testosterone, hormones that help you feel calm, alert, and alive again. I've seen hundreds of people transform this way. No medication. No intense effort. Just a few minutes each day, standing still, breathing deeply, and listening to your body. Because sometimes, the secret to staying young isn't found in the gym, it's found in the quiet rhythm of your breath. No running. No weights. Just proper posture. The horse stance engages your thighs, hamstrings, glutes, calves, and lower back, building real strength without harming the joints. It's known as the safe for all ages exercise, widely recommended in rehabilitation centers across the United States. Number 5. Open your hips, unlock your life energy. I often tell my patients, the human body is like a river. When the water flows, life thrives. But when the current is blocked, everything slows down. And the hips, they are one of the most important crossroads of that river. When your hips become stiff, blood flow slows, your back starts to ache, your lower abdomen feels heavy. And the life energy, the spark that makes you feel truly alive, begins to fade. One of my patients, Helen, age 65, once told me that even tying her shoes made her hips feel uncomfortable. We started with a very simple exercise, the horse stance. After just a few weeks, she said it felt like her body had been unlocked. Her hips were more flexible, her sleep deeper, and her breathing lighter. When you open your hips, you're not just improving mobility, you're releasing the energy trapped within your body. The muscles and blood vessels in your pelvic area awaken, sending energy upward through your spine, warming your heart, and clearing your mind. So remember, vitality doesn't come from running faster, it comes from opening up, gently, deeply, and naturally. Let your hips breathe, and your body will begin to come alive with you again. The hips are the center of the body's movement. When they're flexible, blood flows freely, back pain eases, stiffness fades, and even digestion improves. The horse stance helps open this route of energy, increasing flexibility and giving you a sense of freedom in every movement. Number 6. Train the mind, cultivate stillness and focus. I'll never forget an autumn morning when one of my patients, David, age 68, said to me, "Doctor, my body isn't what it used to be. But it's my mind that tires me the most." And I understood exactly what he meant. After 50, most people think health is all about muscles, the heart, or the joints. But in truth, the mind is the silent commander of the entire body. When the mind is tense, the breath becomes shallow, blood pressure rises, hormones fall out of rhythm, and health begins to decline. I often teach my patients something I call conscious stillness, not sitting like a statue, but training the mind to stay steady amid life's constant movement. It's just like holding the horse stance. The body may shake, but the mind must remain calm. Imagine this: just a few minutes a day, you take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and focus inward. For that moment, you're not thinking about the past or the future. There's only presence, stillness, and the gentle rhythm of your own heartbeat. True strength doesn't lie in the legs or the arms, it lies in your ability to keep the mind from being swept away. When you train stillness, you're cultivating a power far greater than muscle, a steady, enduring strength that supports you through every stage of life. After about 30 seconds, your legs start to tremble, and that's when the real training begins. You learn to endure, to breathe, to observe. When your body wants to quit but your mind stays firm, you're building willpower, resilience, and inner strength, the very qualities that help people overcome both illness and age. Number 7. Strong joints, resilient ligaments, freedom from degeneration. I once had a patient named Robert, 72 years old, a man who told me that even hearing the sound of stairs made him nervous. He said, "Doctor, I'm not afraid of getting old. I'm afraid of falling." That sentence stayed with me, because most people don't realize this. True freedom after 50 isn't about money, it's about being able to walk on your own. When your knees crack, your ligaments weaken, and every step needs support, you lose not only mobility, but also the trust you once had in your own body. I always tell my patients, degeneration isn't a sentence, it's a reminder. Your body simply needs to be retrained the right way, through light, mindful, and intentional exercises like the horse stance. This simple pose is actually the golden secret of martial arts masters and traditional therapy experts. When done correctly, it engages all the muscles surrounding the knees, hips, and ankles, strengthening ligaments, naturally lubricating joints, and evenly distributing power from your legs up through your spine. Imagine this: just 2 minutes a day, standing firm, breathing slowly, feeling your body begin to repair itself. And one day, you'll realize, you're no longer afraid of climbing stairs, no longer afraid of falling, because your joints have learned how to be strong again. That is what real youth means, when both your body and your confidence grow stronger together. The horse stance uses isometric strength to train and stabilize ligaments and tendons without wearing down the joints. For older adults, this helps preserve flexibility, protect cartilage tissue, and reduce the risk of chronic joint pain. Number 8. Enhance memory and neural reflexes. I once had a patient who said to me, "Doctor, I walked into a room, and forgot why I was there." He laughed as he said it, but behind that laugh was a quiet fear shared by many people over 50, the fear that their memory is slowly slipping away. But here's what I want you to know: the brain is just like a muscle. If you train it correctly, it becomes sharper, stronger, and more adaptable over time. Simple exercises like the horse stance don't just improve blood flow to the legs, they also increase circulation to the brain, stimulating the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and reflexes. One of my patients, Linda, age 66, once told me she had to write down her daily tasks every morning because she was afraid of forgetting. After a few weeks of practicing the horse stance daily, she said the most surprising thing wasn't just that her body felt stronger, it was that her mind felt clearer, more alert, and her reflexes noticeably quicker. I often tell my patients, when you pause to focus, your brain starts to listen to itself. Just a few minutes each day, breathing deeply, balancing, becoming aware of your breath, is a form of neural training. You're teaching your brain to stay calm, react faster, and remember better. Because mental clarity isn't a gift of youth, it's the result of consistent practice and conscious care for your mind. Recent studies show that exercises requiring high concentration, like the horse stance, activate the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for memory, attention, and decision-making. People who practice regularly tend to have quicker reflexes and sharper mental clarity. Number 9. Activate lymphatic flow, natural detoxification. I want you to imagine this. Your body is like a city, where billions of cells work tirelessly day and night. But if the city's cleanup system, the lymphatic network, becomes congested, waste starts to pile up, energy slows, and overall health begins to decline. I once had a patient named Eleanor, 64 years old, who constantly felt tired. Her skin dull, her sleep shallow, and her legs often swollen. When I examined her, I found that her lymphatic circulation was sluggish. We didn't use medication. Instead, we began with the horse stance, a simple yet surprisingly effective exercise. After just 3 weeks, she told me, I feel lighter, like my body has been unlocked. From a scientific perspective, when you lower your center of gravity and hold your balance in this posture, the large muscles in your thighs and hips contract rhythmically, acting like a natural pump that pushes lymphatic fluid throughout the body. This helps carry out toxins, improve skin radiance, deepen sleep, and restore mental clarity. Our bodies possess an incredible ability to heal themselves, but only when the internal flow is free and unobstructed. So, if you've been feeling heavy, tired, or stagnant, try standing firm, breathing deeply, and allowing your body to reawaken its natural detox power. By lowering your center of gravity and holding still, your body creates gentle pressure that enhances lymphatic flow, accelerates detoxification, and supports the immune system. This is one of the most effective ways to rejuvenate from within, reducing inflammation and strengthening your body's resistance naturally. Number 10. The gym inside your own body. I want you to imagine this. Every morning, instead of driving to a gym, you simply stand still, right there in your own room. No machines. No heavy weights. No loud music. Just you, your breath, and your body, the perfect gym that nature has already given you. One of my patients, Frank, 70 years old, once told me he quit the gym because of joint pain, weak knees, and limited mobility. I told him, Frank, you don't need to leave your house to build strength. Your body itself is the best gym you'll ever have. Then I taught him the horse stance. Standing firm, lowering his center of gravity, breathing deeply, and holding still. No equipment. No pressure. Yet the results were powerful. After a few weeks, he came back and said, Doctor, I feel stronger, like I've regained my 40s. And he was right. Just 2 minutes a day in that stance activates over 600 muscles throughout the body, improving circulation, strengthening ligaments, enhancing balance, and reducing the risk of falls. What I've learned after years of working with people over 50 is this: real health isn't found in expensive gyms, it's found in consistency and awareness. Your body is a biological gym, always ready to serve you, if you learn to listen, respect it, and move it with intention. So start today, stand firm, breathe deeply, and become the trainer of your own life. No equipment. No gym required. Just 2 minutes a day, anywhere, in your bedroom, backyard, or office. What matters isn't where you train, but how consistently you do it. Because when you move daily, your body remembers, and begins to rejuvenate from within. Finally, what we often forget isn't how to train, but why we started in the first place. This body, after all the years, all the aches, all the moments it felt like it couldn't go on, is still here, patiently waiting for you to come back. It doesn't need you to run faster than anyone. It doesn't need you to push yourself to prove something. All it asks is to be heard, cared for, and understood. When you take a deep breath, when you stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, or simply sit still and feel your heartbeat, that is your workout. That is your healing. That is your connection to the very essence of life. The gym isn't out there, it's within every movement, every thought, every conscious moment you live. The deepest lesson here is this. Health isn't a destination, it's a journey back to yourself. When you treat your body with respect, it responds with strength, flexibility, and a flow of energy no medicine can ever replace. So start today, just 5 minutes, to feel every breath, every joint, every heartbeat reminding you. You are still alive, and you still have the power to change. And now, I want to ask you. In your opinion, which is more important, training the body or training the mind? Share your thoughts in the comments below so we can all reflect together. And don't forget to subscribe to Everyday Vital Path, so we can keep bringing you healing, insightful, and life-giving content for your wellness journey.